So we'll start in this location again. It's the 4th of April, lovely spring evening, about 6 p.m. And we'll just have a look at the daffodils outside and the primroses. You can see lots of primroses and lots of daffs will come along here. And actually we're going to have a bumper crop of, what's it called again? Lily of the Valley, which is what all of this stuff here is. It takes a few years to kind of settle in, but it has done that. I don't know if there's any point going up the stairs. Well, let's do that, even though I'll be shooting into the sun. But you can see down along and over there lots of daffodils, and I'm holding onto the wall here. So we'll go down along this side. This is a gorgeous daffodil, very full flower. Problem is that it gets blown over, like you can see them there from last night. The wind is too strong for it. This is a little wooden anemone that closes during the day, or closes when the sun is not out. And if you see, when it's closed, it's got this kind of pink petal, so it's a very pretty little thing. And then nice mixture of wooden anemones and primroses and daffodils. I've been deadheading the daffodils pretty much every day, just to kind of keep them healthy for next year. And Safi the cat's going to come along with us and is looking to be fed, I think. Very playful. So over here you can see some of the orchids, the spotted orchids that will come up there, that plant there. The spots on the leaves are supposed to be there. That'll start to flower now in May. And here's a lovely aubrietia, quite a spectacular show from that. So let's go this way. You'll hear some of the kids playing across the road. So we're going through a working area here. We're actually working on this space at the moment there, straight in front of you. So we're putting in some perennials under that plastic, and you can see all the materials here ready to go in, just working out the spacing. And then here on this side we have what we call the meadow. There's some very pretty things coming up here, including snake's head fritillaries, one in the foreground and one in the background. And I'll show you more of those where we don't have the sun in front of the camera. Okay, we'll go down along here. Things beginning to kind of come back there. So that's a lovely euphorbia, kind of reddish, but then the flowers are this kind of nice lime green. This Acer is just beginning to come into leaf. It's called Acer Brown Sugar. And actually there's a water lily. It's not in its final position yet, but just flowering there. And lots of tadpoles in that pond. Okay, let's go back up. Over there, that's a marsh marigold. Came from Kells Priory down in Kilkenny. This is Dicentra, which will flower for months. And then some more of the snake's head fritillaries here. And here. And here. And we're going to actually transplant those up into the grassy area that you saw earlier on. More wood anemones. There's the marsh marigold there. Lovely yellow, like a huge buttercup. Okay, pick up the pace. The other acer there is coming into leaf. It's a beautiful thing with the red bark. And I have to show you the camellia that you gave us. First of all, we've got a viburnum here that's in flower. That's scented, lovely scent. And then in the background, you can see the white camellia. It's full of flowers and they're really, really pretty. That's the best year it's been. This is a pulmonaria with the blue flowers in front of it. Also the best that's ever been. Okay, let's go past the unfinished pond. Things are really just beginning to come back, like all the hostas and so on. Here's the Kerria japonica, one of my favorites with that yellow flower. This is its best year so far, you know, just because of the location it's in. It's getting a lot of sunshine and light all of a sudden. Come on, cat. Okay, let's go up by the new pond. So the new pond is up there where the big stone is, and I'll send you a video later on once we get the pump going in that. So this is it here. Huge boulder, and then the pump, quite a few days work, or the pond rather, quite a few days work, pulling all of that together. Have a look down here. This is a beautiful wood anemone. It's closed now because the sun has gone in, called Lady Doneraile. You can see big white flowers. And then we look back up at the pond and along by all the daffs. Here's the poor quince trying to flower, but it's way too cold. And then we have more daffodils along there. Actually, we'll go up this way. Down at the new piece of work. In the veg garden, we've got the garlics there in the foreground doing very well. Behind them, onions, the rhubarb there, and behind them, spuds in the half of the bed that's dug, and then leeks from last year. Lovely display of tulips here, and then the muscari, the grape hyacinth, behind those around the medlar tree. Oh, it's freezing. It's about 6 or 7 degrees only. Okay, so we go out, ignore all the plastic, go out to the borders. This is the tree peony, and that's going to have about 15 or 18 flowers this year, which will be its best ever. This is the first year it's actually been planted properly in the ground, which is why you can see other peonies there. And then that's a Gertrude Jekyll rose that was faring very badly, but is now planted out, so it should do a bit better. And then we're getting a greenhouse for this spot here. That should be delivered in May. And then over here, a very vigorous peony here. This is a hybrid between the tree peony and the herbaceous peony, and it's looking really solid in terms of its growth. And then in a few weeks, like you can see the blackthorn flowering there, and then this daisy thing actually not even a few weeks, a couple of days, that'll be a mass of white flowers. The kind of thing you can see from space, like you can certainly see it from the road down below. This is the other herbaceous border, and this is a little Easter thing, I forget the name of it, but it flowers at Easter. It's a very pretty little thing. But let's finish up at the garden that looks best this time of the year, kind of spring. So I think we brought in 1 or 2 primroses a couple of years ago, and you can see they've spread very widely. And then the daffodils that are on your right there are mostly a scented one called Winston Churchill, and on a hot windless day you can really get the scent. And then the taller yellow daffs are just finishing. I've been deadheading those, so I've been taking out quite a few every day, so they're somewhat diminished. And then this is a gorgeous clump of that wood anemone. Again, this thing that opens during the day, but really, really pretty, open or closed. And then, we'll finish just with this view here. Okay, hope you enjoyed that quick run around the garden.